Hi, grade twos and threes. Today's lesson is in math, and it's a review of the addition and subtraction that we were working on before spring break. So for grade two, you can be working on 2 digits, numbers up to 100 for adding and subtracting. For grade three, you can be working up to 1,000 for 3-digit subtraction or addition. And of course, if you want to challenge yourself, keep going. Go on to the 4-digit if you can. The concept is the same. So once you start adding numbers, you handle it the same way as you do with your 2-digit. So I'm going to start with the 2-digit. Some of the supplies, I have some paper, I have dice, cards if you don't have dice, and then I have base 10 blocks, and this is what I chose to use. These were all, I made a class set for a class of 20 before I moved here, and then I lost them in the move, and I did a lot of cleaning over spring break, and I found them. I had my sister help me cut these out, which took hours, so I'm sure she'll be happy to hear that. But if you don't have hundreds, 10 rods and ones, just use something to stand for that. So this Lego block, the big one, could stand for 100 flat. This skinnier one could stand for 10 rod, and then a little Lego could be your ones. So if you need base 10 blocks to help you with your math, please find something that will work in your house. I'll use these ones for the demonstration because they're a little bit more similar to the 10 blocks we used in the classroom. Okay, so I'm going to start with dice. If you don't have dice, you can just use playing cards. Just take out the face cards and the tens. And so you could just pull up 2 cards. So here I've made the number 22 and then pull up 2 more, 95 or 59 if you wanted to do it that way. Okay, so you kind of choose. You can use the cards. I like using the dice, so I'll use those. A cool little tip for you, if you have trouble keeping your numbers organized in columns, your HTO, hundreds, tens, ones places, get a lined piece of paper and turn it sideways, and then you have everything lined up for you nicely like that, so you can keep your numbers neat so that they're not crossing over into each other's apartments. Okay, so I'm going to start with 2 dice. So my first number, I can decide, do I want it to be 16 or do I want it to be 61? I'm going to say 16. Okay, so I write down 16. Now, if you need base 10 blocks, you're building it with your blocks. So here's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And I'll do addition first. So plus, I roll to get my next 2. What do you think? 46 or should I do 64? Let's do 46. Plus 46 equals. Okay, so then of course you're building 46. 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. So now when we're adding, oops, you can't see that. Let me move the board up. When we're adding, we're actually adding these all together. And we're checking to see if we have to do any carrying, which means we have too many in one place value, so we have to move it next door. So let's count our ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I do have more than 10. So what I need to do is take 10 of these and move them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Move them. I'm going to trade them in or carry them to the 10's house next door. And so they're going to trade in for a 10 rod because only the 10's can live in the 10's house. So I'm going to move it up here, trade these guys in, and now I'm going to bring a 10. And when we do that on paper, what you're doing is you're carrying over a 10. And we are left with the 2 here. So we had 12, so we leave 2 ones and we carry over that 10. So that's why you show it by carrying over the 1. And then we can add them all up. Now I see there's not too many in each place. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, or I can just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know there's 6 and 2 ones. My answer is 62. Now when you get to numbers over 100, it just means that you need to have your 3rd place value spot in the hundreds chart. So let's do one of those 2. We'll do 61 plus 21. That's not going to be high enough. I'm going to roll again. There we go. 53. Now, some of you will need to build them with your base 10 blocks to visually see what's going on. Some of you will just be able to add those straight up and down. So when we're adding them, we add the 1s together first. 1 plus 3 is 4. And then we add the 10s together, 6 plus 5. So I'm thinking of my doubles facts. 5 and 5 is 10, so 6 plus 5 is just 1 more than that, so that must be 11. So now you'll see that's when what you're doing is carrying over into the hundreds place. You're showing this is now a 3-digit number, 114. Okay, so that's 2-digit. Let's talk about subtraction. Subtraction's different because you only have to build the first number with base 10 blocks. So here we go. I'm going to do a roll, 66. And this time I'm going to subtract. So I need to make sure the next number I roll is smaller than 66. Okay, let's do 31. 66, take away 31. So when I'm subtracting, I only have to build 66 with my base 10 blocks. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Because I'm going to take away, think of it as you have to pay me burn specs money from what you have in your envelope. So you actually have to take away, you get a smaller number than what you started with. So I have 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66. Okay, here we go, 66. I have to take away 31. So in this case, I'm good. I have enough ones to be able to do that. I'm going to take away 1, start with the ones, take away 1, and now I'm going to take away 30. 10, 20, 30. So I'm just going to take them away and count, see what I have left. I have 5 ones left, and I have 3 10s. My answer is 35. Now, some of you might not need to use the base 10 blocks, so you can think of this just that vertical column subtraction. 6 take away 1 is 5, 6 take away 3 is 3. However, it gets tricky when you don't have enough blocks and you have to do some borrowing. So that's where those rhymes come in. If there's more on the floor, which means that bottom number, you have to go next door and borrow 10 more. So let's see what happens when we have to do that. Let's do another one. 32, take away. So I can't make it 61 because that's a bigger number than 32. So I have to make sure I arrange it. So this is 16. 32, take away 16. Okay, perfect. So you can see this one is an example of if there's more on the floor. So down here, the number 6 is bigger than what's upstairs, or the number 2. So as a rhyme to help you remember what to do, if there's more on the floor, go next door, borrow 10 more. But this is what it looks like with base 10 blocks. So I'm going to start with the 32. Okay, I've got 32, and I want to take away 6 ones. I don't have 6 ones, I only have 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go next door, and I'm going to borrow 10 from here. So I'm going to take away one of these 10 rods. So now I don't have 3, I have 2. And I'm going to trade it in for 10 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. Make sure you have 10. Count them carefully. And I'm going to bring them down. So now I no longer have 12 or 2 ones. Now I have to add the 10. 10, 2, 10 plus 2 is 12. So some people just write a little 1 in front to show 12. I like to cross it out and just redraw it as a 12 so that you know what's going on. Now I have to do 12, take away 6. Do I have enough to take away 6? Yep. So I'm going to take away 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get them out of there. And I have to take away 1 10 rod. Do I have enough to take away? Yep. 1 10 rod, leaving me with 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16. Now, if you're just doing it on paper, you're doing 12, take away 6 is 6, doubles facts, 2, take away 1 is 1. So I'm left with 16. Okay, let's do one more subtraction. This time I'll use cards to show you what that might look like if you're doing this at home. Okay, do you want me to do 29 or 92? Let's do 92. 92, take away 52, 25. Let's do 25. 92, take away 25. Okay, so I'm going to build it. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 92. Okay. Do I have enough? I look at the numbers. Is there more on the floor? Yes. So I'm going to have to go next door and borrow 10 more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow one of these 10 rods. So I don't have 9 anymore. Now I'm left with 8. And I'm going to break that into 10 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And bring them down. So now I don't have 2 ones anymore. Now I have 12. So I cross out the 2 and put a 12. And now I can take away 25. So I could take away 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and count what I have left. So I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67. Or if you're doing this without the tens blocks, you're just doing your vertical column subtraction. 10 take away 5 is 7, 8 take away 2 is 6. We get the same answer. that's it for your 2-digit addition and subtraction. So if you're working on math today, you could do this for practice. You could ask a parent's help if you need it, but otherwise you should be able to do this on your own. So just remember some of those rhymes to help you with the subtraction, which is a little bit trickier. All right, good luck, have fun, bye.